Welcome, Mr. Trivikram. Mr. Trivikram Rao, I have assigned you as a presenter.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Yes. And we can start now. We are 1 minute down now. Yes. Today, our session is setting up a virtual classroom over cloud. We have a resource person, Mr. Trivikram Rao. He's an educational entrepreneur on a mission to transform the education at all levels to produce meaningful outcomes. He is a CEO and founder of Platify Solutions with an unique experimental learning platform which provides solutions to various practical problems in education sector. He has total 17 years of experience. He is very spiritually inclined personality. He enjoys spending time with the students of age groups and loves guiding them. He works relentlessly to fulfill his dream to make the technological innovation reach each and every student of the country. And I request Trivikram Rao, we don't have students. Even though they are participants, they are all the faculties. So you need to love today's faculty also.
Yeah.
With this brief introduction, I hand it over to Trivikram Rao to take over the session. Over to you, Vikram.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Raja. Hope you're able to see my screen.
We are able to see your screen.
Thank you. So thanks, Raja. For
1 second. You want to have an interactive session or you want to present later? You can enable for participants to interact or let them post their query in the chat box. Which one do you want?
Yeah, I want it to be very interactive session. I love interacting with the participants during the any of my slides. Okay, they can interrupt me. End of every slide, I'll give some time for the participants to raise any questions. Yeah.
You have 1 hour 30 minutes, and I allowed everyone can unmute themselves and speak to you. I allowed them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Yes.
Thanks, Raj. So, hi, professors. Good morning. This is Trivikram Rao. People call me TV because it's a very tough Sanskrit name. So I'm known to the world as TV. My first name and last name. I'm coming from Tirupati background, Andhra Pradesh. Finished my BTech and MTech from SV University and Andhra University. After finishing my MTech, I joined Honeywell. I was there for 2 years for doing home automation, and from there I moved to Tata Elxsi. I was there for 3.5 years. I was the one who built a wireless communications group in Tata Elxsi, and then I moved to startup. I built the startup for 12 people team, sold the startup for 12 million in 2007-8 timeframe. And after that, I started my own another startup called Accelera Mobile Broadband, again, which is into wireless. I sold that company in 2010, 10 to 13 timeframe, for 10 to 12 million, 12 to 13 million. And in 2013, that's when I thought of doing something in education sector, because I'm coming from embedded side, doing home automation, IoT, and wireless, building 4G, 3G base stations, subscriber stations. But in 2013, I thought of doing something, in education space. The reason behind that is my background. I used to teach mathematics starting from my 10th standard till my MTech, and now also I'm teaching. Whenever I get time, I go to colleges, give guest lectures and all. I love giving lectures. I spent a lot of my time with the students and then the professors. So giving this background, right now, I thought of doing something, solve some problem for education industry for the students and the professors. So I took break in 2013 for 6 months, and I visited most of the engineering colleges. Mainly, I visited engineering colleges because I'm an engineer. Only technological universities and colleges I focused. I visited in and around Bangalore, all the engineering colleges around in and around Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Vijayawada, and no matter what it is. So I interacted with so many students. So one common problem I noticed was, the lab infrastructure, the availability of the labs, basically. Okay, so that's when I thought of solving the problem, and build a company or in and around that. That's when I started Platify, the company. I'm the founder and CEO, and have a 30-40 people team here in Bangalore, and 30-40 people team in Wisconsin. Worldwide, we are big universities like BITS Pilani and IITs, IIMs, and ISBs are using our product in the country. And in Australia, a few universities are using, and in Japan, a few universities are using. We are expanding our presence to most of the universities and colleges. That's my background, and today I got this opportunity to present myself, and talk on the topic of setting up a virtual classroom over the cloud. Raja asked me to deliver a session. That context, I'm coming and then presenting this. Thanks, Raja, for this invitation. I'm very happy to talk with you people. And you can stop me anytime. You can ask me any question during the session. So with this background, let me start my session. So the agenda of this session is going to be, I'll be talking about a few topics like what is classroom, virtual classroom, and advantages, disadvantages, and challenges in education, value-based solution, benefits of the cloud solutions, and objectives of educational platforms, features of the educational platforms. And I would like to present what we are having at this point of time, and the architecture of our solution. And there'll be a demo also. My team is here, Bharat and Megha, and my technical team is here. They will show a simple product solution demo also. The reason behind it is not to advertise our product. It's just to give you the introduction to the platform, what we have built. And lastly, we will be taking a Q&A. That's the agenda coming up for this session. And in between, if you have any questions, you can ask me. So coming to, first of all, we need to understand the definition of virtual classroom, basically, okay? So me coming from this background, technology background, spent in my time in startups and then big companies like Tata Elxsi and Honeywell. So, and I spent a lot of time with the AICTE, Dr. Punya ji, and UGC, and then MHRD, and in the state governments like Karnataka Higher Education Department, Department of Technical Education. Maybe some of you might have interacted with me in the past. So spending time with these people, there is a lot of in and around virtual labs. The definitions are misunderstood, basically, in my opinion, basically. Okay. So virtual classroom means, in my opinion, delivering the content. That's what people think, actually. Okay. So, but in my opinion, it's not only the delivering the content, it's delivering the labs, the tools also is the understanding that I'm having, basically. Okay. So already, few platforms you'll be seeing like Udemy, Coursera, or so many other platforms are there like that. In YouTube also, there's a lot of content. And in India, there's NPTEL and Swayam. All these platforms are delivering a lot of content. But nowhere there is an attempt to deliver the tools is a whole observation that I'm having. So, so virtual classroom means, a platform where which you can deliver the content, you can deliver the tools, you can deliver the lab, and you can deliver live classrooms. And moreover, my observation is, the interaction between the student and then the professor, right? After the college hours, there is no interaction basically. Okay, so if the student wants to go back and then while reviewing his class lectures, if he gets a doubt, he cannot. There's no way he can interact with the professor actually. So that's another observation I'm having. And this is where I tried bringing in a technology and trying building to a platform where which all these tools are available for the professors and the students to interact each other basically. So in my opinion, the virtual classroom means the mix and match of all these features together in a platform is the one which can deliver virtual classroom. And today's world, a lot of schools and colleges have been closed because of corona pandemic situations, and billions of learners have been pushed to use virtual classrooms actually. So this is where we need to adapt, to the technologies like big data, data sciences, and IoT, to kind of platforms we had to adapt, the technologies we had to adapt and build a platform to ourselves, and wherein it is going to be a unique platform for our country students and then the professors to interact actually. That's the whole idea. So this is the introduction of virtual classrooms. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll move on to the second slide. Okay, I'm going on to second slide. So advantages of virtual classrooms, if you see, mainly the personalized learning is coming into picture basically. Previously, everybody sits in the same classroom, and professor comes with one hour lecture notes and delivers the 1 hour lecture, and everybody listens to the lecture and then goes back and reviews their content and then or practice their labs. But here, the future is going to be, in my opinion, 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. I was thinking, but due to pandemic, that time is cut short to next 1 year, 2 years down the line itself. In my opinion, the courses are going to be like now today. If you take a BTech course, there's a 4-year duration course, and 4 years they have to study subjects referred by AICTE or the university, right? That's the kind of learning methodology that we are following. But going forward, it's going to be virtualized learning from everybody, right? So student can go and they'll be having a luxury to pick one course from mechanical engineering, one course from computer science engineering, one course from civil engineering, one course from AI and ML background actually. Okay, so for example, if you take me as a student, I will be interested in learning fluid mechanics and AI and ML and some chemical engineering. I can go and then mix and match this, and then I can learn these courses, build my skill basically. So it's going to be skill based in future than on course based actually. Okay, that's the kind of direction the whole world is going forward. So these are all my observations. That's where I'm thinking this is going to be a personalized learning, boost our personalized learning by moving to virtual classrooms. And the real-time teaching and learning. Okay, so the student can go pick any topic and learn the topic and then immediately practice. Now itself, we are doing it actually. For example, in a kitchen, if you wanted to make any chutney or sambar, we just go to YouTube and then learn how to make a chutney, how to make a sambar, and we are going and then trying to make the chutney or sambar, right? So we are already practicing it actually. Everything is going to be real time in my opinion. Okay, so that's how the technology side also, right? Now, if you don't know how to change the password in Google, we just go to YouTube and learn how to change the password in Google and go practice it and changing the password actually. So that's how the situations have changed, and going forward in technology space also, everything is going to be real time. They learn and then practice actually. Okay, and gives students and teachers a worldwide exposure. Here, since everything is online, people will be interacting worldwide, students and the professors. Already, people are doing it. So moving to virtual classrooms, the third advantage is going to be exposure to the worldwide platform. And it's going to be affordable also, right? Since everything is online, there's no physical costs are involved. The cost on the student also, the course also will be reduced. So for the students, it will be affordable. And it's going to be comprehensive online tutorials. My observation here is, you might have seen already, previously we all used to give 45 minutes lectures or 1 hour lectures each classroom, right? But my observation is every student will be having a span of 7 minutes of attention span, actually, okay? Only 7 minutes, okay? If you are delivering anything more than 7 minutes, right, the attention span of the student will goes off, actually, okay? They will not be listening to you, but you will be delivering the lecture, but they will not be listening to you. So whatever message that you have to communicate, you have to communicate in within 7 minutes, basically. This is the research I have done for past 7 years, and I have implemented this thing in bits planning. They are already utilizing this thing. Whenever they are building a video, they are building only 7 minutes videos, and it's successfully working for them, actually. Okay, so your 1 hour lecture can be delivered, in 10 or 15 7 minutes videos instead of one big one hour video, actually. That's my observation. There is a patent also. I filed patent very recently on this topic. So, this should be comprehensive online tutorials we have to build. Can you please go on mute from somebody? I'm getting noise here. Raja?
Mr. TV, tell me.
Yeah, I'm getting noise from somebody. Can you please unmute everybody?
Yes, that is a good way to do this. I'm on. Even attend.
Not me, okay? You can
Not
mute
you.
except me.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, thank you. So, comprehensive online tutorials, they will get access, and it improves the visualization, basically. Okay. So today, in the physical environment, you have every student is forced to listen to 1 hour lecture given by the professor, right? And the professor will go with a set of course content, and you will be delivering that content, basically, correct, in that 1 hour. So the students cannot take deviation from the topic, actually, okay? But here, since everything is online and it's virtual classroom, if the student is learning something, if there is a topic, let's say, for example, I'm reading operating systems subject, okay? Let us say I'm talking about deadlocks or some topic in operating systems. But while reading this topic or studying this topic, I have all the luxury to understand what's going on the architecture level also, computer organization, computer architecture level also. So it's going to be blended learning, basically. So the visualization of the student is going to be end to end. If they are moving to online platforms or virtual classrooms kind of scenarios, actually. That's my observation. And the next point is enhanced collaboration and communication. People can collaborate and talk to each other, exchange their ideas, and the communication will be increased. So that's another advantage. Effective and efficient time management. So they can utilize their time the best way. They can learn and practice it immediately, actually. Okay, that's a kind of environment we can build by moving to virtual classrooms environment. And they can access the content or the tools or anything from anywhere, anytime. Actually, I have to put any device also, okay? So they can attend the classes on mobile phone, they can attend the classes on laptop or iPad, they can attend the classes from village, their own town, or there's no timing also, basically. They don't need to go to college at 8 o'clock and then spend their time till 5 o'clock in the evening, okay? So already students are trying to bunk the classes and then go somewhere and do something else, basically. So that kind of environment gives them a lot of luxury, and then they'll be focused in learning the content whenever they are comfortable, actually, okay? That way, students will be having a lot of freedom to learn, access the content from anywhere, anytime is the idea that I'm having. It encourages digital and smart classrooms is another advantage, and the long distance learning is going to be another big advantage that we are having actually. So these are the advantages, top level, I kind of noticed in my past 7 years of research in this space. There are lot many things to discuss here, but these are top level points that I observed, professors. Yeah, disadvantages wise, there will be no control on the student or classroom. You don't know what's going to happen to the student, what they're doing, and since there's a lot of freedom, they can get defocused also. Basically, okay, few students, not all 100 students. There are 100 students, not all 100 students will be spending their time if you give the freedom actually on education. Correct. So there's no control, and no control over learning environment or atmosphere. That's another problem. And requires another major problem is they require a basic computer and internet, to access their online content. In the country like us, the internet is already went to the next level, but still there are so many problems in the internet wise. So infrastructure is the main problem for the students. Mainly people are coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And it's expensive and difficult to install, right? That's another major problem. So we can't give all the tools which college is providing and make it available for each and everybody. That's going to be a costly affair for the students and professors. So we need to come up with a platform where to resolve all these issues basically. And fifth one is student lack real-time teaching experience. So they miss their professors. They cannot interact with their professors physically. So they lack that experience there. That's another advantage. A risk to traditional teacher-students collaboration. There's a risk always. So these are the disadvantages that those are there in my observation. These are my observations. But how to overcome these disadvantages and increase the advantages, and how to build a platform is the whole idea that I was having, which I will show you very soon. And virtual classroom integration with educational platforms. There are 2 points which I have noticed. Educational platforms are very important digital tools, and virtual classes are just one service of learning management system. These 2 are the observations. So I wanted to bring all these disadvantages that we have seen in the previous slide, right, to cover into one single umbrella. So we need to have academic planning and scheduling, and learning resources creation and storage must be there available. Online assessments must be available. Instant messaging must be available, and student statistics and tracking must be available. Tutor evaluations must be available, and course subscriptions must be available. Training exercises must be available, and all communication tools must be available. So if we can integrate all these features, right, into one single platform called virtual classroom, that platform is going to be useful in these kind of situations. It addresses all the disadvantages that we just discussed actually, is the whole idea. So this is this is the research I was doing for past many years, to mainly focusing on these areas to build the platform, which I will be showing very soon. And mainly challenges, if you try to understand, right, in a education system, the first challenge is inefficient, ineffective use of ICT infrastructure. Actually, the infrastructure is the main challenge that countries like India and Asia-Pacific countries are facing actually. And shortage of trained staff and lack of equal opportunities for students from various locations and backgrounds. This is another challenge. And lack of resources for experiential learning and skill development platforms, and lack of analytics to take empowering decisions, and growing gap between industry and academia. These are the challenges I have noticed. We can't address all these challenges, but which are all technology related, we can address. For example, the ICT infrastructure issues we can resolve by bringing in a good platform which can address all these solutions, features. and lack of equal opportunities for students from various locations and backgrounds. This also can be addressed by using the technology. I'll show you in my next slide how we are addressing this solution, this problem. And lack of resources for experiential learning and skill development. This also can be addressed by using technology, big data, and data sciences. And lack of analytics to take empowering decisions. Today, let me stress on this point. Today, we don't have analytics at all, except the marks scored of a student, basically, correct? We conduct a 3-hour exam or a 2-hour lab exam. Based on that, we decide that this kid is 90% and 80% or 70% actually. So based on that only, we are deciding the kid is brilliant and average student or poor student, basically, correct? So in my opinion, that's wrong, basically. Okay, so we should bring in the continuous evaluation of the student, basically. Okay, so in physical university environments, bringing in that continuous evaluation of a kid is impossible, basically. But when we move to virtual platforms like virtual classrooms, right? So using this technology, big data and data sciences, and then all these kind of technologies, we can monitor the kid on each and every activity, and then we can get the analytics of the student, and which will be fed to the professor in evaluating the student, basically. So that's how the analytics will be helpful for us. But today there is a challenge, and we know already for past many years, whatever the education industry is producing, industry cannot use them directly as it is, basically, correct? Again, industry has to hire the students from the education industry to train to their tools and technologies, and then only they can go to the right job. So there's a gap there, basically. But if you can build a platform where the industry can pick the students as it is and then put them onto the job and day one, actually. Okay, so that is highly possible in moving to virtual classrooms platforms, actually. Okay, I'll tell you how. Let me take a simple example. Today, let us take mechanical engineering as an example. In mechanical engineering, after finishing 4 years of the mechanical engineering, if you go to any student, you can ask him, hey, can you please design this car model for me in SolidWorks or AutoCAD kind of platforms? You know the answer, basically, correct? He'll simply say, just now I passed my engineering. I had to go to some institute and learn these tools, and then I can design any car for you, actually. Okay, that's the answer. Generic answer we'll be hearing, actually, correct? And we all are accepting that answer because the environment in the college is like that for him, actually. Okay, but when we move to virtual classrooms and give a better environment where all the tools are available for him, he can just watch one video how to design a car and practice in SolidWorks or AutoCAD or whatever it is. No, there's a system will be in place, basically. Okay, so from the day one, is kind of trained in all these tools, and not only the theoretical and practical level also, and all these tools will be he'll be good in all these tools. So by the end of the course, companies can go and see, based on this analytics, right, how much time he spent on this particular tool, what are all the problems he solved using this tool. That data is available for the industry, basically. So based on that, industry can take the student directly to that job and assign the job to him, basically. That's how we can reduce the gap. So that's the other attempt I'm trying to do. But overall, these are the challenges that I have noticed in my past few years, professors. And the value-based solutions on cloud, coming to cloud, right? All of us know cloud means everybody thinks that there's a virtual machine in the cloud, right? There are so many service providers like Azure, AWS, and Google attempted, and then but still they are not out. But everybody knows that there is Azure cloud and there is AWS cloud, basically, correct? These are called CSPs, cloud service providers, actually. Okay. So today, forget about all these things, basically. Okay. Today, as a professor or as a university, how they can use this cloud infrastructure or cloud offerings by Azure or AWS or Google is the question. So today, the professors can go bring up a VM and install a tool and do some practice there, basically. At the same time, other than that, they don't know how to. We don't know how to use that particular VM environment, basically, correct? So the attempt here is, there are so many other, solutions that we can build on top of the CSP offerings. It could be by Azure, or it could be AWS, or it could be by Google. Okay, so we should be able to build a multi-cloud management layer where it can switch to any cloud. It could be Azure, it can go to Azure, it can go to AWS, it can go to Google. So that kind of layering we should be able to do. That is possible on cloud. And using that thin layer, we can build virtual labs, we can build chatbots, we can build analytics, we can build remote labs, we can build live classrooms, and slot management, license management, content provisioning, tools provisioning, or so many features we can build, basically. Okay, this is these are the solutions we can build on top of any cloud, basically. Okay, so, and these tools can be used for professors, administrators, or students, higher education ministry, or corporates or education institutions. So for all these people, these are going to be applications, this layer. And this layer can be built by multi-cloud management layer. And here the switching can happen to Azure or AWS or Google. These are the kind of environment we can build using the cloud service offerings, professors. We'll discuss more on these things, these features, in upcoming slides. The benefits moving to cloud-based solutions. First, student side will observe. First is employability. Let me discuss how it will be helpful for employability of the student. Today, if you see in the physical environment, other than his mark list and the professional certificate from the university, he don't have anything else in his hands, basically, correct? To prove that that's skilled in these technologies, basically, correct? So you all know already, right? Today, if the student wants to go attend for an interview, he has to go with his CV or biodata, correct? Today, what they are doing, they just go to their seniors and take a copy of their seniors' CV or biodata. And if he's coming from computer science background or mechanical background, they go to their seniors, pick their CV, change their names, and change their personal details. Sometimes they'll miss that also, and build their own curriculum, and then going and attending the interviews, basically. Okay. There, whatever the skills that seniors are mentioned in the resume, their seniors might have got from their seniors, basically. Okay, this is standard template they'll be following. Actually, for mechanical department, this is the CV. For computer science department, this is the CV. So no student is having a real CV, which proves their skill set, basically. Okay, that is the problem in the physical environment that we are having. But moving to the cloud-based solutions, like what we are going to discuss right now, from the day one he joins the course till the day end, the 4 years duration of the course, all the analytics are built. How much time he spent on each and every tutorial, how many times he watched the tutorial, how many questions he asked the professor in the chatbot, or how much time he spent on each and every tool in the lab, how many assignments he solved, and how many problems he solved, right? So how many critical problems he solved, how many non-critical problems he solved. The complete data can be analyzed and tracked, and his own curriculum his own skill-based curriculum can be built online automatically, and that will be keep changing semester to semester. At the end of the day, after finishing his engineering, his curriculum weight is going to be very rich in skills and all that stuff. That's how the student is going to be benefited if we move to cloud-based solutions like this. And of course, second is the skill development. So he can be getting more skills, moving to cloud-based, because all the tools are available for him, all the content is available for him. He can watch the content, he can practice the as and when he gets the time. So he gets more opportunities for building his skill. In today's environment, if you see physical environment, he attends the classes forcefully or not, right? But lab environment, if you go, university is giving only 1 hour lab environment or 2 hour lab environment in a week. Okay, in that lab environment, lab duration only, he has to practice actually. Out of that period, he's not having any access to the labs or tools, right? This is the problem. That is where our students are lacking in the skills. Okay, but when you make the tools available for the students 24/7, right? That's when he gets the luxury of accessing the tool or lab anytime or anywhere, as and when is required for him. He can go and practice it actually. That's where skill will be built. So that is possible only when we move to cloud-based solutions. Third point is, just now I mentioned, you can access anywhere, any device, anytime, access to the lab resources and quality content. That's the benefit of moving to cloud-based solutions. Coming to organizational benefits to the institute, right? Scaling is going to be very easy actually. Okay, so they can scale up and scale down their resources. I'll go a little deep into this particular point. Today, if you see university or college, based on AICTE and UGC rules and regulations, they have to manage, let us say, 100 systems in a lab. Okay, so they can go and set up 100 systems in the lab, right? And with these 100 systems, there'll be almost 4,000 students across the university or college, right? Across the streams, across the semesters, they'll be using the same laboratory. Okay, and this will decide how many students they can intake, right? If the number of the systems availability is less in the lab, they cannot take more students basically. Okay, so and when more students are joining in, right, they cannot immediately build their labs to the next level. If less students are joining in one academic year, they cannot reduce their resources to the lower level actually. So scaling up, scaling down is going to be a big challenge for organizations in the physical environment. But in the cloud-based solution, if they move, right, today, let us say there are admissions only for 1,000 students this year. So they can build only 1,000 students infrastructure in the cloud. And next year, if it is going, let us say 2,000 students or 3,000 students, they don't need to worry about the expansion of the labs, physically. The cloud, it's very easy. It's just a 1 hour job for them, just building few more VMs in the backend and then, scale up the infrastructure. So there are so many cost benefits involved here. So for organization, scaling up of the resources and focusing on the cost, mainly the capex. Capex means capital expense. Okay, so there's a second point. I'm mix and match of first and second point I'm explaining. So today, let us say organization wants to build a 100 system laboratory. Let us say each system is costing, let's say 5 lakh rupees. Okay, that means one shot they have to spend 5 lakh into 100, right? That is the amount they have to spend in building the lab. Not only that, they have to pay the electricity bills, they have to pay the AC bills, and they have to hire admins, lab admins. So all those costs put together is going to be very costly affair, and they have to invest one shot in the beginning itself. That is called capex. So this moving to cloud-based solutions, this capex will become zero, because in the beginning itself they don't need to spend anything, and everything is online. And scaling up, scaling down is very easy, and is going to be completely OPEX model. OPEX model means operational expense. Every month on month they can spend. And today, let's say this month, I don't want the laboratory because of Diwali festival is coming up, or 1 month holidays after the exam. You need to spend your money. Okay, you can cut your cloud solutions, and which brings the cost zero for this 1 month, 2 month. But when the physical environment, when you are in physical environment, no matter whether the holidays are there, whether the college is running or not, you already spent your money on the infrastructure, and infrastructure is just lying there actually. That's a disadvantage. But moving to cloud-based solutions, all these disadvantages can be overcome. We can overcome, and we can convert everything into OPEX model. Third point is, as I mentioned, analytics. Today, any institution, if you go and ask, hey, how much time your students spent on SolidWorks or 8085 microprocessors lab, how much time they spent? Nobody knows, okay? But they can tell, oh, we used to have 10 lab hours in a semester, right? That's the top level data we are having. But we don't have the data at the student level, how much time he spent on this particular tool and how many problems he solved. That data is not there actually. So moving to cloud-based solutions, getting that analytics is going to be very, very easy actually. And fourth one is reduced effort per student per professor actually. Okay, for the professors also, they can get a lot of time. Instead of focusing on every student. Okay, so you can build the content in such a way that every student can go on and access it and then practice it. The professors will get a lot of time in focusing on their research. Okay, and building their own patents. Okay, in India, if you see, I'm sorry to say this thing, process, and I'm directly talking to people. The patent filing, if you go to patent department and see, patent filing is almost negligible in India actually. Okay, so nobody is getting time to go and file patents. Basically, the reason is morning to evening they are stuck with the students and spending a lot of time with the students. Basically, okay. But here, moving to cloud-based solutions, professors will get a lot of time, and they can get exposure to a lot of other areas. They can focus on their research and building their patents, white papers, and books, writing their books. That's the last benefit that I observed that organizations are going to get. And third one is social benefits. Okay, so the compliance wise, all the legal softwares they can use. Today, few institutions may be using pirated versions of the softwares, knowingly or unknowingly. That we can overcome. You can go and use this cloud-based solutions. So all the complaints are met, and higher quality of the students. Quality of the student also will be increased because all the tools are available for him. All the content is available for him 24/7. The quality content given by professors, and the interaction between the professor and the students also increase. So these are the three areas that I focused. What are the benefits that we can get by moving to cloud-based solutions is the idea. The ideal objective of educational platforms on cloud, I am telling for past few minutes. One is availability, right? Availability of the resources, right? Today in the physical environment, just now we discussed, professors are not available for the students 24/7, right? Labs are not available for the students 24/7. Okay. The physical environment is impossible. Okay, I mean, olden days, Gurukul days, I don't know, they would have made it possible. But in the current environment, right, these very limited hours, students are getting access to their professors or their lectures or the lab environments. And second is flexibility, right? In the current physical environment, there's no flexibility. Okay, hours are decided by the lab the university or the professor, students has to follow it. There's no flexibility. Scalability, we just discussed. Scaling up, scaling down in the physical environment is going to be a challenge. And employability, right? Mainly analytics. Fourth point is analytics. Okay, analytics are highly missing. Okay, and the performance. What is the performance of the student? It's also kind of we are deciding based just on 2 hours exam or 3 hour exam. Actually, in my opinion, continuous evaluation should happen, and we should judge the performance of the student based on that. Actually, if all 5 things are there, employability is not going to be a problem at all. Actually, employability problem will be solved. Let me tell you my observation, professors. In any institution, right, or any organization, if you take, university, if you take, there are 4 key stakeholders actually. Okay, one is management of the college or the university. 2, the professors of the professors of the university or college. Students of the university or college. 4, parents. Let us to understand the psychology of all these 4 key stakeholders of any institution. For good or bad reasons, the first stakeholder, that is college management or university management, thinks that more and more admissions should happen this year. Actually, every year they expect more and more admissions. If there are 100 seats in each and every stream, they would look for all 100 seats should be filled basically. Okay, that's the expectation of the first stakeholder, that is university or college founders or management. To do that, I'd go to the 4th stakeholder expectation, that is parents. Right? Parents' expectations would be, if I admit my son in this particular college or university, the expectation would be he will be getting a very good job, right? So expectation of the parent is job, employability, right? So to fulfill the expectation of the parents, the 4th stakeholder, college has to focus on more and more producing jobs. Basically, they should bring in more campus placements. Okay, then parents will blindly go and then admit their kids into that particular student, university or college. And coming to second stakeholder, that is professors. Professor is a professor anywhere basically. Okay? He's a very knowledgeable, and if the infrastructure is provided for him and good environment is provided for him, he can build any patent, he can build any technology, he can teach any student basically. Correct? So professor is a professor. Third stakeholder, that is student. Again, student is a student. Okay, if you put this kid in an IIT, he'll adapt to the IIT environment. If you put the kid in any deemed university kind of an environment, he will adapt to that environment. If you put that kid in a tier 3 level college environment, he'll adapt to that particular environment. So student is a student at the end of the day. So for this, all 4 stakeholders, right, these are the problems actually, correct? The employability, they have to fulfill. Then parents will come and then admit their students. And students and the professors will come together actually, correct? So, but when we bring this, solve these problems, the availability issues, flexibility issues, scalability issues, and get more analytics and performance, then the employability problem will be solved. When the employability problem is solved, obviously the first stakeholder's expectations will be met. When the first stakeholder expectation is met, obviously 4th stakeholder expectations are also met, right? Parents' expectation, because kids are getting more and more admission, more and more good jobs. So they'll directly go to the university. So that's how we can solve this, break this chicken and egg problem that institutions and the parents are having basically. Okay, and the professors and then the students get the best platform in the cloud and solve all these 6 issues that they are facing. Professors. And mainly the features expected from educational platforms. Everybody knows that from LMS, most of the professors might have used LMSs. Using LMS, you can do course management and content management, user session management, slot management, right? And then remote labs access if you have, you can is well and good. And live classrooms, you should be able to deliver the live classrooms as and when is required. And we should have chatbots. Let me stress on this point because this is the new introduction and experiment that I'm doing with Vitsplani. I have done already for past 3 years. They are utilizing our chatbot solution. Today, if you see, Professor, people are not seeing education as a commodity, right? If you take any product, take your Apple phone or your Android phone or any product, if you buy a small pen also in the market, if it's not writing, there is a support system. Okay, you just call one number and then ask, hey, this is not working. Then the support team in the back end is supporting that particular product will guide you, oh, this went wrong, this might have gone wrong, this might have gone wrong, or come to this service station, we will, correct it and give you. That environment is there for all the, products and services, except education, basically, okay? In education, the student joins the college, attends the classes in the morning to evening. After he takes down the notes during the lectures, and he goes back to his hostel or house, and he'll start reviewing that particular day's lectures, right? What if he gets out, during that time when he is studying or reviewing his class content? Today, except Google, he don't have access to his own professor of post the college hours actually. Okay, he has to go search that particular doubt in Google, and Google, right? If you search for good words, it'll give you all favorable, answers. If search for if search is going to be bad, it'll give you all bad direction of research. So there's a high chances of student getting defocused in while learning actually. But if you can bring in the chatbot, which bridges the gap between the professor and the student, so the answers should come from only his own professor, not from Google. Okay, why? Because now as a professor, before entering into the classroom and trying to give 1 hour lecture to your students, you know in advance that what are the questions that you can expect from the students in this particular lecture. Everybody knows that, right? And professors are already prepared to answer those questions, right? So we know what are the questions students are going to ask, and we know the answers also. Out of 100 questions, all the professors will be answering most of the time 99.99 of the questions which are asked by the students. Maybe 0.01% of times they may miss, and they'll be telling the students, okay, let me refer and then get back to you by tomorrow. Okay. Otherwise, 99.99% of the time, professor can answer the question on fly. So what I'm trying to say here is, if we can feed these FAQs that students, the professors are aware of, to a service like Chatbot, and make this Chatbot available for the students 24/7 on his mobile phone. So student can log into the Chatbot and interact with the Chatbot. It's nothing but almost equivalent to interacting with the professor. So bringing in Chatbot kind of feature into the place and making it available for the students, that bridges the gap between professor and the student that we are having at this point of time. That's my observation. So Chatbot feature must be there in educational platforms which are cloud-based. That's my observation, is already implemented in our solution. And remote proctoring, right? Today, the bigger challenge is you might have already experienced. You can deliver the content online. You can teach online. You can interact with the kids online. You can deliver the tools also. That's also not a problem. But how to conduct an exam? How to make sure the student is not copying from Google or somewhere? How to evaluate the student? All these are the problems actually in cloud platforms. So this is what I attempted to solve by introducing remote proctoring. This is going to be we can have AI ML enabled engines in the cloud. Example I will tell you. I will be showing you a simple solution that is there in place. While writing an exam online, the student, if he turns, his head like this or like this, it's captured. Eyeball movements are captured. If there are any electronic devices or gadgets in and around, that's are captured. Okay. If we can build that kind of module and make it available in the cloud, right, and make it available for the students and the professors, solves a bigger problem that we are having in this cloud platforms. And license management, I'll discuss more in few slides ahead. And data analytics engine, I already discussed many times, in the past few slides. Analytics are the main important things that we can focus on. And in moving to cloud-based solutions, we can get better analytics than in the current existing analytics. Software tools provisioning. You can provision the tools anytime, anywhere. Okay, you can provision what are the tools you want for delivering your course. That's possible. We are calling it as a provisioning. I'll show you what is the provisioning. The example in the upcoming demo. And the completely user profile management actually. Okay, so student no need to build or copy curriculum from anybody else. His own curriculum will be built at the end of the course. Okay. These are the features better to have on any cloud-based platform, end-to-end, to get the end-to-end benefits actually. Okay. And this is where built a platform, our company called Day5 in 2017. Starting from 2013 to 2017, I was doing research with BITS kind of institutions. I have taken a lot of inputs from BITS and IIT Bombay. Of course, they are our customers right now. With their inputs, I've built a platform called Experiential Learning Framework, ELF, which we are going to show you very soon. The architecture of ELF, which I've kind of solved the solution, is this. The lower level layer, you could bring in any service provider, but we prefer going with Azure. Azure is the main cloud partner, is the infrastructure that we are using. The top, as I mentioned, multi-cloud manager is sitting. On top of it, there is a ELF bundle. In ELF bundle, all the features that we discussed very recently in the previous slides, there's license managers, slot managers, analytical engine, automation engine, our user profile manager, content provisioning, configuration management. All these features are available in this bundle. And infrastructure wise, there's a gateway and Active Directory and connection broker and DMZ module and DNSS, firewall, load balancers. All these modules are involved in.
TV? Hello? TV, I think your audio gone. We are not able to hear you. Are you able to hear my voice, participant? Okay, fine. Mr. TV, it's there is some problem in your side. Audio got disturbed. Participant, please wait. I will call his mobile. Yes. Yes. I'm handing over to Bharat. Bharat, let me add you. 1 second. TV. Yes. Yes. No. You can do it yourself. There is no problem. No. You can close and again activate 1 second. Otherwise, Bharat is requesting me. Bharat Sharma. Mr. TV, can you check
Yeah,
now?
sorry, I'm back.
Yes. Please share your screen and start your presentation.
Mr. Raja?
Yes, yes, we are able to hear your voice. Hello. Otherwise, can we over to Bharat Sharma?
Mr. Raja?
Yes, yes, please tell me. Hello. Yes, Bharat, you can take it forward now. I have given the presenter privilege.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Is it clear?
Yes, yes. Please share your screen and start your presentation.
Sure. You see my screen? Just put this down. Yeah. So I'll pick it up from here, from ELF architecture. So as Stevie was rightly mentioning, so we have ELF portal, that's a front-end portal, under which we have this ELF bundle app store and chatbot service and all those things. Very soon we'll be giving you the demo of all the services. So we have Platify MCM abstract layer. So what happens is, as you can see here, the admin can first access this portal, and he can actually configure all the license management, slot management, and all those things. With just one click, he can bring up the whole lab and all the contents which are required by the students, and he can configure it for the students. So the students can log in for the same portal and they can access all the things. So here in the ELF bundle, you can see that there is license manager, which takes care of all the licenses. So let's say whatever the paid licenses you have, like SolidWorks or AutoCAD and all those things. So license manager takes care of how much license should be utilized and how much license should be freed for based on time and all those things. So slot management is something like if you have, let's say that uh, you have 100 licenses of SolidWorks, okay, and you want to share it among thousands of your students who can attend your class. Then what you can do is, you in the slot management, you can configure like the slots for the student so that only 100 users can access a particular slot at during that time, something like that. So in the demo, we'll make it clear to you. And we have got Analytical Engine, which captures all the analytics from all the students. So every click of student is captured through our Analytical Engine. So including what are the things which he does on his browser, inside our desktop, and what are the things he like what application he has used for how many times, and what is the total time he has spent on the desktop, or what is the ideal time and all those things. Okay. So next we have got Automation Engine. So this automation engine takes care of a lot of automation. So to give you an example, let's say your student has enrolled into 2 courses, where for one course he just need 4 GB machine, and for another course he may need a big machine like 32 GB RAM enabled and graphics card enabled machine. So automation engine takes care of, like during when the student is trying to access, it will find out for which course he is accessing, and appropriately brings that particular machine in the backend so that the student can access it without any issues. So, and we have got user profile manager. So that's again a module which has all the data of the user, and in the with the it talks with the Active Directory and manages all the user profile related data. Next, we have got content provisioning. Content provisioning is like where you have in the existing products, where you have Coursera, Udemy, where you have so many contents which you can publish as a professor, and the students can go through your course and complete it, right? So like videos and all those things, videos, PDFs, or any files. So all these things can be pushed through content provisioning. So next we have got configuration management. So this configuration management is a major module which talks to all these modules, and takes care of what configuration needs to be provided for what course and what student, and based on that it will, in real time, it will bring up that particular configuration in the backend and provides it to the student. So next we have got infrastructure here. So we have got gateway, Active Directory, and connection broker. So the purpose of having a gateway and Active Directory and connection broker is like gateway is a one single gateway where all the students will access through only this gateway, nothing else. So that way it is very secure. So all the students will be accessing through 443. I mean the HTTPS SSL port. So the gateway will take care of all the connections. With all the load of the students. Okay. So next it is Active Directory. So Active Directory maintains the authentication related information of the student. This need not be our local Active Directory. Let's say in your university you already have an Active Directory. We can integrate that also here. So that you don't need to register the students once again. So all the students who are registered in your university can directly access with their IDs, with the Active Directory syncing. So next we have got connection broker. So connection broker is what maintains the whole connection stability for the student. Like let's say the student gets disconnected and he wants to connect again. Okay. So connection broker has all the information, like in which desktop or what was his work, what is his profile, where he needs to get connected, all these things, and it passes it on to gateway, so it can get connected to so the student can get his appropriate or his particular desktop. So next we have got DMZ. So this is a demilitarized zone. That is, we have got DNS firewall and load balancer. So here we have got a lot of security related policies, our own policies, and also we apply our Azure related policies. So the main purpose of this is to stop all the major attacks which we have right now, right? So like brute force attacks or DDoS attacks, everything can be stopped with this DMZ modules. Going to App Store, we have got this App Store is where all the applications actually lie, and we have got AutoCAD, Star UML, SolidWorks, and all those things. We'll be creating record for each and every app. Let's say you have built your own customized app, even that can be virtualized. So any app which can be installed on the Windows can be virtualized here and put it in the App Store. So next we have got Gargi Chatbot Service. So as Stevie was explaining before, like so this is our AI-enabled chatbot. So Gargi, her name is Gargi. She takes care of answering the students in the first level, and she also takes a note of all the questions which she was unable to answer and passes it on to the professor so that he can answer it. And and again Gargi can, Gargi's knowledge base gets automatically evolved, so that next time she will be answering the same questions whenever the students are asking it. So that's all about Gargi chatbot. Next, we have got IoT infrastructure management. So this is majorly for remote labs deployment. So we have particular some labs in Bijpilani where they have kind of 3D printers and all the other things, like built-in turbines, some of the experiments which are actually conducted on physical labs, like it's a physical machine which stays in Bixpilani campus, okay, but which needs to be, but what we have done is we have virtualized it and exposed it to the outside world, that any student from anywhere, it's like from the Dubai campus or the US, from anywhere they can access these things and actually perform experiments on these physical machines. So using the software. So this is where these are IoT enabled device. So that is where we have got IoT infrastructure management modules. So we have got AI and ML management modules. So this is majorly targeted on Chatbot Service, and it also takes care of a lot of ML modules. We have machine learning modules for object detection and face recognition. So that is involved in proctoring and Chatbot Service. So next, it is Platify MGM abstract layer. So this is multi-cloud management layer. So what happens is all these things, whatever the modules you are seeing, this can be actually deployed on any cloud. So it need not be Azure. Let's say your university has some contract with AWS and you already are using it, then we can deploy it in AWS also. It need not be Azure AWS. We can deploy it anywhere. What we personally prefer is Azure, but with this module, Platify Multi-Cloud Management, this module we can deploy it on any of the cloud provider. Okay. So as you can see here, these are some of the Windows and Ubuntu machines which we have virtualized and providing it to the student through the ELF portal. Okay. So do you have any questions till now on the architecture part? Okay, so I
will unmute everyone. Is it fine, Mr.
We will go through the demo and then the same. What do you say?
Go ahead, please.
So that we can give more clarity. Okay.
Yeah.
So Karan, Raja sir, can you please enable Karan so that I'll just stop my sharing.
What is it?
Stop sharing.
Karan.
Yeah, Karan. Please enable Karan so that we can give the demo.
So Karan Sangvi, and I will make him as a co-host or presenter.
Presenter, please.
That's fine.
Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bharat.
Karan, your voice is not so great. Can you please increase the volume?
Sure. Is my voice better now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Somewhat.
So I'll just share my screen. So is my screen visible?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. So this is our website, sir. It's called it's elf.platify.com, where ELF stands for Experiential Learning Framework. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to log in as a professor first, and we're going to create a course and then take you through the platform one by one. Now, to log in as a professor, we have to first give the email address of the professor. And once the email address is entered, the professor would get an OTP to the registered email address. So here the default OTP is 1234. So now this is the professor's dashboard. Sir, I'm hearing some disturbance. Hello? Raju sir?
You're asking me?
Yes, sir. I'm hearing some disturbance.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So as I was saying, this is the professor's dashboard, and there are a lot of details here. So you can see the courses, users, resources, applications, and various types of analytics. So we'll go through it one by one. So coming to the resources page, here, as TV sir rightly mentioned, that the professor has the flexibility to create an own course and how sir was mentioning that, the attention span of a student is about just 7 minutes. So if you can create 7 minutes of lectures for a course that is for 10 hours, the same thing can be done here. So these are all the contents of the course of resources. I can view the content online here. If it's a video, I can also see it. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll just create a course. And basically this can be a PDF, a video, an image file, anything that can be viewed online. So next comes the application store. So AICT has a recommended of 150 plus applications that are required for every university to have. So Platify hosts all these applications. It can be licensed applications or open source application, as the TV sir was rightly mentioning. So these are the list of applications that we have. So I'll just select a few applications from the bundle here. So this is an overview of the selected resources and the selected applications. Here we can also add applications by clicking on add, and we can also add resources. Now that we've bundled the content and the required list of applications, we have to give a name to the course. So let us say that the professor is going to create a course on operating systems. So that would be the same name. In this case, I'll just give it as dummy course. So select the number of slot hours. Here, slot hours basically mean the number of hours that the student can use the lab for. Now it can be from 1 hour lab sessions to 12-hour lab sessions. So basically what happens in an ideal college environment is that students get very limited time to practice a lot of experiments. And while doing so, they have a lot of doubts also to clear. So in that time span of 2 hours, they're not able to clarify all the doubts and their experiments are left incomplete. So what we do is we give the flexibility to the students. So the students can come to our platform, use it, can book the slots for themselves at any time of the day. It can be at night or evening based on their convenience. And they can book the slot and can use the lab and can clarify the doubts the same way. So enter the number of users. This is the number of users in a classroom. So it can be about 100 students to 60 students or any number of students in the batch. And this number can also be changed dynamically. So if there's any addition of extra students, you can also come back here and change it on the go. So who can book slots for this course? As I was saying, if we give the flexibility to the student can come onto a platform at any given point of the day, can book the slots for himself, can use the lab, and can clarify his doubts rather than having to wait an entire day to go back to the lab and then ask the teacher for the doubts. So if we choose admin, what happens is that the teacher has the control to book slots for the student, and it will become like an ideal lab session itself. So the teacher decides based on the timetable when what students would come in and for how long they would practice the lab. So I'm going to leave it as users. So from date and to date is the date of the course. So it can be semester wise, monthly wise, or even yearly wise. So enable live classroom and remote proctoring are two features that I'll come to a little later. So now we will see how our course is created. So here you see our course is created. This is the course. And now, since we have created a course, we have to add students to the course, right? So in order to add students to the course, there are about 4 ways of doing that. So one is by clicking on the URL. This is the course created and this is the URL. So what this URL does is it generates a specific URL to the course, and the professor can in turn share this URL with other students in the WhatsApp group or by email, so the students themselves can enroll for the particular course. The second, third, and fourth ways is by going to users, and the professor has to enter the details of the user one by one manually and choose the course, click on submit, and the students get added to the particular course. The third way is by uploading a CSV file sample, and that is more easier to do so. So you can just upload the sample file, choose the course, and click on submit. Now, the fourth way, as Bharat was rightly mentioning, if that the college has its own Active Directory, we can link our platform to the Active Directory so that we won't have to create separate logins for the students. The students can use their own college ID and log into this platform. So now let me quickly go ahead and show you how the virtual lab is from the student side and how the student can use it. So these are a few users that are already registered in our platform. So I'm going to take this student as an example. The student would also have to come to the same URL, that is elf.platify.com, enter the credentials, get the OTP, and then log in. So here is the student dashboard. Here the student is able to see what all courses he's been registered for or enrolled for. So he can click on the course, so he can view it, he can study everything online. And so let's say this is another course, so you can also click on this, practice the code, learn it, and when the student is pretty confident enough that he wants to go ahead and practice whatever he's learned, the student can just click on practice course. These are the list of applications for the particular course. So you can choose the application, click on submit. So this is the license management system that TV Sir and Bharat were talking about. Here what happens is that, let's say if a university has about 100 licenses and about 200 students. So what they basically do is they create lab environments and lab schedules for students so that the licenses can be managed effectively. Our platform does the exact same thing, where the licenses are stored in the license server and they get allocated to the students on a first come first serve basis. So students can come here, they can choose what time slot is appropriate for them and click on submit. So as you see, there are 2 slots that are already booked. I have to just click on access lab. So this is the lab slot that is currently active. So I click on access lab and it immediately starts loading my virtual machine in the backend. So also the beauty of this is that everything happens over the web browser and the student need not have to download any external RDP file for the same. You just need to have an updated version of the web browser and a minimum internet speed of 1 Mbps, and that should be enough to get you through. So this loads up the virtual desktop. So I will expand it and go to full screen mode. And this gives me a proper Windows experience and it doesn't feel like I'm using some other machine. As you can see that it has high-end applications here as well. So this is AutoCAD, and to show the latency part, I will just draw some basic lines here. So you see that as I'm drawing the line, the same gets reflected on the virtual machine, and there is absolutely zero latency or lag. So that shows that with a very minimum internet speed of 1 Mbps, also your work can be done. So also here, what we can do is the students can we can provide the students with a shared folder where they can come and upload their assignments. So we can give a network folder to the students where they can come and upload the assignments, and this network folder will only be visible to the teacher. So that way the students cannot see what other students have submitted and they cannot copy each other's answers. So this way the teacher can also evaluate the students' assignments and give them marks accordingly. And just to show you a bit of latency on typing, this is the same. So now let's proceed to the other feature. So as TVSO was mentioning about our chatbot, that is Gargi. So what does Gargi do? Let's say if the student has any doubts and the student wants to interact with Gargi as a chatbot, the student can simply do so by clicking on the chatbot here. So this is the student chatbot. These are the list of courses that is available for the students. Now let's say I as a student have a doubt on this course and I just say AutoCAD. I need some information on AutoCAD. So Gargi has some AI ML trained technology. So it asks like Google. So it says, did you mean this or did you mean this? So what answers are given to Gargi by the professor? The same answers are being reflected here. So if I choose this, it gives me this answer. And if I choose this, it gives me another answer. Now let's see if I as a student ask something else to the chatbot that the chatbot has not been trained for. So let's just see I'm typing a junk question. So now it says, sorry, I could not answer your question. Shall I ask you, professor? If the student clicks on yes, the same question gets directed to the professor's end. And the professor can see the same question under the unanswered question list. So here is a junk question. And if the professor feels that the doubt that the student is asking is relevant, he can just click on answer and answer it, or click on delete. So once the professor answers the doubt, the same will be trained by Gargi, so that the next time the student asks some doubt to our chatbot, she answered it herself and would not have to ask the professor. So coming to the next feature of live classroom. So now let's say if a professor wants to conduct a live classroom, or if a student is having some issues while conducting the lab or while just using the lab. So the student can also go ahead and share his screen for the professor. So let me give you an example. So this is the go live button I've clicked, and it immediately starts a call like we're having right now. So this is the call that is started. And now if I just click, so if I go to the student end, if I click on courses, I get a notification that this course has gone live and the professor is teaching a class. So I can just click on the live stream. So now it gives an alert to the professor saying that a student is waiting. So you can see the waiting room, and you can also admit or remove the student. So here I've logged in as a student, and here's the professor then. So now I as a student can share any part of the screen and just share it. So the professor can see the same on the student side and can solve the doubts of the student. Also, the professor has some security options. So he can just click on security, and he can also unmute the participants as and when required, can also disable the chat window. The professor can also record live classroom sessions that can be made available to the students who have not attended the class or who have missed it due to some reasons. So the recording feature is also there. So now, as TV Sir was rightly talking about analytics and how we provide a detailed level of analytics so that the professor can monitor the students, can also see how well the student has been through the entire semester or to the end of the course. The same thing can be seen under analytics. So we have two types of analytics, course analytics and resource analytics. Under course analytics, we get a complete detail of the number of users registered for the particular course, the number of slots that were booked, the number of slots that were used. And we can also see that on a particular date, what time the slot was booked and the usage of the particular slot. If you want further details, we can also click on view usage history and we get the details of what and all the student has done inside the desktop and what time the student logged in and what time the student logged out. So these are the in-depth analytics that we get of the student. Now coming to the resource analytics. So we have various kinds of resource analytics as well. So let me show you a very interesting one. It's called video resource usage. So this is something that is very important for the professor, and the professor can use this to improve on uploading content. So let's take an example of this video of machine learning. So we see that when the video started, there were about 20 users who were watching the video. And when the video came down to about 3 seconds, there were only 14 users who were watching. So that way the professor can know how many people are engaged to the video and how many people are skipping it. So in the future, the professor can make the video more interactive and make sure that the student is watching the video throughout. So this brings us to the end of the demo, and now we can have a Q&A session.
And to ask, unmuting all. And TV, hope you are online, Mr. TV. Participant can post.
I'm back.
Yes.
Mr. Raja, I am there. I'm open. I'm available for any Q&A.
Yes. Please post your question or ask questions. Any questions? In Platify, can anyone register individually? You can answer this question. In Platify, can anyone register individually? What is the pricing model?
Yeah, so Mr. Raja, I can answer the question. Thanks for reading that question. Yes, any institution can register themselves online going to lf.platify.com and then register themselves, with a business name. For example, your university is XYZ and your domain name is xyz.com. You can register as XYZ and then provide xyz.com. Immediately, within no time, you will get xyz.elf.com. The URL will be enabled for you, and you can go and then upload your content. You can bundle your content with your tools, and you can deliver this to your students. And pricing model, it depends on the university and then number of students that they are availing. We would love to work with us universities separately and fit into their budget constraints. Hope I answered your question. If there is any question, you can let me know, please.
I think in case people will come back or any inquiry, I will forward to Mega or TV directly to you.
Thank you, Mr. Raja.
Thanks a lot, TV and your team, and really it's good. And now people, if they want, they can have all the features. If they can directly approach to you, and you can post your contact in email or your website URL in this platform, so that they can come back. And thanks a lot. And participant, you can leave TV and your team.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks. And participant can leave the room now, and you can come back 2:15. Today we are in last day session. So
Thank you.
yes, back at 2:15. We have a yoga session, and after yoga, around 3 o'clock, we will start our exam and 50 minutes. Meanwhile, in half an hour, I will share what is your existing attendance except today. And if you have any queries, I will forward. I will forward to all your email, or better, no, I will forward here the link, share link according to your attendance link. You can ask me in case of your queries, and you can leave now. Thank you. Thanks a lot.